The Simpson County Fiscal Court to order. We'll start with prayer and then we'll have pledge to the flag. And I just would like to ask the community to remember the family of Bill Scott. Bill was a four-term magistrate here on the Fiscal Court. And I believe he served like from 82 to 98, if I'm thinking correctly. But and his funeral will be today. And just ask that y'all remember him. Join me in prayer. Father, we just thank you for this day that you've given us, Lord, the many blessings of life that you've bestowed upon us. We just ask you to be with those in this community, Father, that you watch over and keep us safe. And Lord, we do pray today, especially for the Bill Scott family. We just thank you for his service to this community, and we just ask that you would comfort and bring peace to that family during this time of loss. And Lord, we just ask you to lead us and guide us in this meeting. And Lord, most of all, we just thank you as we're approaching the Christmas holiday that you sent a Savior that was born that we might have everlasting life through him, and we thank you for that most of all. And we ask all this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, gentlemen, you'll see there's an item or two more than there has been the last few meetings, and here we are at the very last meeting of 2023, 6 days before Christmas. That's unbelievable how quick it goes by, isn't it? All right, if we had an opportunity to review the minutes of our December 5th regular court meeting, I need a motion and a second to approve those minutes.
So moved.
Got a motion by Jeffrey,
Second.
second by Marty. Any question, discussion, corrections? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Gentlemen, the next, if you've got it there on your portal, there's some highlights in yellow, and I believe it's section 20. As according to the counselor, we're just changing some language to read exactly like what the intent of this code of ethics is. But this will be the first reading of ordinance number 230.31, updating the Simpson County Code of Ethics. And I need a motion and a second, and then we'd do a roll call on an ordinance.
Second.
Got a motion by Marty and a second by Scott. Any question or discussion, gentlemen? Pam?
Marty Chandler,
Yes.
Scott Poston,
Yes.
Jeffrey Burr,
Yes.
Myron Thurman,
Yes.
Mason Barnes.
Yes. And next, gentlemen, is another ordinance. This is budget ordinance number 220.254, amendment number 2. And this is amending in, there's some electric fees, a sheriff's grant, a jail communications grant, some money that's come in that's got to be amended into the budget and dealt with through those channels. So got a motion by Myron to approve first reading of this ordinance.
Second.
Got a second by Scott. Any question or discussion? Pam, again, we'll roll call on the ordinance.
Myron Thurman,
Yes.
Scott Poston,
Yes.
Marty Chandler,
Yes.
Jeffrey Burr,
Yes.
Mason Barnes.
Yes. Next item of business is to review or approve calendar year 2024 HIDA agreement. It's an authorized participation in this HIDA program and authorize the county judge executive to sign this. This is where we get the funding, some federal funding for the drug task force. Got a motion by Myron.
Second.
Second by Jeffrey. Any question, discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. And next, we're seeing to review or approve the reassignment of fiscal court member board appointments. What I'm needing to do at this time, and both gentlemen have agreed to do this, is to appoint Scott Poston to serve on the Ag Extension Board and that will be moving from the Boys and Girls Club Board, and then appoint Jeffrey Burr to serve on the Boys and Girls Club Board, and he'll be moving from the Ag Extension Board. And both gentlemen have agreed. We'll just have a motion second. Or do those appointments have to have a motion, or do I just make those appointments, Counselor?
We had a motion when they were
When they
originally
first
done
done,
in
okay.
January
Originally
of
done,
2018.
All right. Do we need to do them individually?
Yes.
Okay, so I need a motion to appoint Scott Poston to the Ag Extension Board. Got a motion by Myron,
I figured Scott would make the motion, but I don't know if he's that willing or
can
not.
I twist somebody's arm to make a motion?
No, I mean, I got it.
You got it?
Yeah, second or.
Well, I heard Marty say second before you did. So I'll give it to Marty.
Marty was first.
All right, so we got a motion and a second. All in favor? Scott, you're not voting no, are you?
No, I'm not. I'm
Okay,
not.
all right, that motion carries.
Okay, so it was Thurman and Chandler.
Thurman and Chandler.
Okay, and
Yeah, all ayes.
okay,
I'm sorry for the confusion.
that's okay.
Me and Marty were just talking about having too much fun, so just trying to have a little fun. Then I need a motion and a second.
Wait, I'm sorry. This, I will note that this goes through the same period of time. Like,
Yes, this will
would be through the
be.
4-year, but this would be
Yes,
just.
this will just
okay,
be.
3 year.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I guess I should have noted that. This will be, the original appointments was through the 4-year term of office. These will be swapping and will continue through the remainder of this term of office. So next will be a motion and a second to appoint Jeffrey Burr to the Boys and Girls Club Board.
So moved.
Got a motion by Scott,
Second.
a second by Jeffrey.
You gotta be quick.
Oh my gosh, any question or discussion? Marty, he wouldn't make it motion on him's appointment, but he's quick to make that one on Jeffrey's
right.
appointment. All in favor, aye? Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen. All right. Next, on the financial business, we need a motion and a second to approve a cash transfer of $11,739.43 from the federal grant fund to the general fund.
So moved.
Got a motion by Marty?
Second.
Second by Jeffrey. I heard Jeffrey first, Myron.
Oh, that's bad.
Any question, discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Then the budget transfers, if you had an opportunity to review those, we need a motion and a second to approve those budget transfers.
So moved.
Got a motion by Myron,
Second.
second by Scott. Any question or discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. And finally, the bills and claims. We need a motion and a second to approve those bills and claims as presented.
So
So
moved.
moved.
Got a motion by Marty and a second by Scott. Any question, discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Oh, I'm sorry. The counselor brought to my attention that I've just bypassed the county clerk altogether. Yeah, yeah. So do you have your 2024 budget presentation?
No, because I wasn't correct. I didn't get your
What-
email to say when you were gonna do it.
Yeah, we didn't get it.
I was expected for the 3rd. But you can go ahead. You can do a presentation now and next time.
I guess that's why I overlooked it, counselor. It wasn't on the portal.
He mentioned, Myron mentioned something important, but I thought maybe, I apologize. Confusion there. Receipts match the disbursements. I know raises, we predicted 3%, so that's what we put in there for salaries or wages. You'll see one of the line items, there is some money in there for passports. So Marty had mentioned that the other week, and I didn't want to say anything, but we had kind of been in the works there. But we did get approved to start that. We don't know exactly the start date. We still have to get our supplies and finish our training on that. So that was going to start back in '24. What date, I'm not sure. Besides that, I've done this
And
for-
so, Austin, here, what you've got is pretty much your fees are covering your costs.
Yeah, this is about in the balanced budget, so.
And again, like you said, you allow for a 3% raise, but then we would obviously, depending on what the court does with the next fiscal year budget, we may have to make an amendment to,
Yeah, that's how I had discussed with Nicole. It's
yeah.
just that was usually the practice, so.
Now, so you got 5,000 from fiscal court. If we do something larger than 3%, would that increase that contribution from fiscal
No,
court?
the contribution from fiscal court is like where we pay the clerk for certain election expenses, we'll reimburse
Oh,
it
okay.
back. And it's also for, like, when we reimburse back for, the tax bill things, either that we pay for or you pay for, and we reimburse you back for that. So that's where that money comes from. It's in our budget, built in like the 9100s, and then we reimburse the clerk back for that. So that's what that part is.
Okay.
But I think the answer to your question might be, it's
Are
a
we gonna
possibility.
are we gonna have to make a contribution if we do
Po- po-
something larger than a 3% cost of living?
But,
I don't think so.
Yeah.
He's got plenty of
Okay.
money.
Yeah, there was-
Where we can move it
Yeah.
from certain other.
kind of like,
line
I know what we did last year, which I didn't present it, but when Beth and Grace presented, they did 3%, and then we went to 6.5, and so we took different from line items. I think maybe some from office equipment, and a few other line items, and then built it into that to cover that cost, so.
And with the clerk, you can kind of see, when we're 6 months into June, or May, April, we can kind of see that first quarter and how it's flowing too, to kind of see how things are trending. If some revenues need to be adjusted, then we can adjust that expense as well, so.
Yeah, so there's some line items built in the back to where you could move that monies to
Okay. Well,
cover
that's great.
that change, so.
And Austin, there's not a year-over-year comparison, but dollar-wise, is it close? This is pretty close to your budget from the last year.
Yeah, it's up a little bit. I think the number, I don't have the exact on here, but I think last year was like 6.4, somewhere in
Yeah,
there.
I was thinking it
And
was
you all
close to.
just, I'll have everything up on the portal.
Yeah.
Next week, and you all can review the sheriff, and I'll have all that side-by-side 7-year comparison, so you all can just use this now to just kind of review, and then we'll have a
Yeah.
final approval with all the formal documentation on the 3rd.
Okay.
Because we'll have to approve
We
maximum
Yeah, we'll do
have to
salaries.
approve
Salaries.
maximum salaries and all that kind of thing. And
So I want to go ahead and get this in, gives everybody time. I know with the holiday schedule.
Yeah.
And
We needed something to do over the holidays.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Especially Jeff, so.
So appreciate
Well,
it.
it looks good, Austin, and honestly, what I see day in and day out, your first year in office, I think you're doing an outstanding job. And no one from the public has called and said, could you fire the county clerk? I've had them call and tell me I need to do this and that to the sheriff, and I have to tell these people, hey, the sheriff gets elected to do his job just like I do. I can't reprimand the sheriff. But I get those calls. I haven't had one call that says, hey, could you fire this lousy county clerk? So,
Well, I got a great staff, so they're the reason we're successful.
Now,
So.
is the clerk's office closed for the licensing right now?
No, we're still open for licensing, so you can still do that up until the 29th at 4 o'clock.
That's when you get those calls.
Yeah, that's when you
Well,
start getting those phone calls.
We'll just, that's the state there. We have.
I'm gonna put my phone on
that's out-
mute first
That's
few
out of
days
my
of
control,
January.
out of Austin's control. We have no control over that whatsoever.
Right.
So it's 29th to when? To inform the public.
The 29th, and which we got the holiday schedule in there. The 10th is when we'll be able to start renewing
Here we go,
licensing
10th.
again. If anything earlier or later, I'll let you all know, but as right now, the date is the 10th, so it's projected.
Sounds good.
So,
Thank you. I will say this too, Austin, in all sincerity. It is a pleasure to work with you as the county clerk.
Thank you all.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Merry Christmas.
All righty. Thank you,
So are
Counselor.
we just gonna,
It-
there's no
just
motion, we're
no
just
motion or
gonna
anything. We'll
record
wait
the
and do all of
presentation?
this on the 3rd with the
Okay.
sheriff's budget and the clerk's budget.
Okay.
Because Marty's right, we have to approve maximum salaries and all that sort of thing, and we'll have it all on a little form that has to be signed and so forth and so on.
But it's got to be done by January 15th.
Right, right. All right, so moving on, obviously, and I think everyone here on the court and everyone involved in county government would share this sentiment, but would like to wish all the community a very Merry Christmas. Hope everyone gets to spend some time with the people you care about the most and enjoy some time with family and have a good time during Christmas. Just a reminder that, you know, our meetings are first and third Tuesdays of each month, but the first Tuesday of January will be a paid holiday time. That's the second, so we will do a special called meeting on the 3rd at 8:30 here on the 3rd. Then, I guess the city contracted with this EHI Consultants, and they're going to be forwarding a draft of the comp plan that they want to propose. And we're going to get an opportunity to review that plan, but then they want to have a joint meeting to have discussion about that. But I think there's a few other items that will need to be on that agenda. But the dates that they have sent are 9th, 10th, 11th, 16th, 17th, 18th, and they're proposing at noon, and they don't care whether we meet here or City Hall. So we would normally meet on the 2nd and the 16th. So I wonder if the 16th wouldn't be the most accommodating for us. If they're willing to meet any of those 6 days, we'll already meet on the 16th at 8:30, and we could just be back at noon for another meeting.
I should be able to do that.
Is that
Sounds good to
doable?
me.
Is that doable for all of y'all?
Sounds good.
I got that surgery on the 11th, but I should be back. I
Okay.
should be able to do that.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've got court that afternoon at 1:30. I'm good for a little over an hour, so.
Well, I mean, we could do the 17th or 18th. That'll be a Wednesday or Thursday. Is that any better? I mean,
No, because I got court at 1 o'clock on Wednesday for child support, and once again, Thursday on court.
well, if y'all are all good, I'll just reply back and let them know the 16th at noon will.
What's going to be on the agenda?
Well, the EHI consultants, I think we're going to have some planning and zoning conversation. Not sure right now about industrial authority. And I think the chief needs to give us an update on the fire department and where we think we're headed, you know, now in the first of the year.
Yeah, we need to, when we left that last one, it was waiting to see what the next step is on us.
Yeah,
If we're going to get this on the ballot,
yeah,
we need to get the ball rolling.
Yeah.
Or it's going to be too late, because I think we had to have all this paperwork, or all the steps have to be taken in order for us to put this on the ballot by August. So, and here it is, basically January.
yeah.
And then time we meet,
So
it's going
I
to
think
be,
we need to have that discussion. So it's possible 4 items.
okay. And if it's a special call,
We
nothing can be
If
discussed.
it's
except
not on the
what's
agenda,
there.
we can't discuss it, so, and this would be a special call meeting.
Would you
So,
run through those 4 things, please, again?
the comp plan from EHI Consultants, planning and zoning, fire department, and I'm gonna say possibly industrial authority, but I don't know, that's a,
Okay, thank you.
all right, so the 16th, I'll circle that date and reply back that we're good the 16th. Do y'all they didn't have a preference whether we meet here or City Hall, do y'all have a preference?
I just say meet here.
Courthouse should be fine.
Do what?
Courthouse here.
Okay, all right, I'll let them know that. Gentlemen, that's all I have. Myron?
I'd like to say Merry Christmas to everybody and Happy New Year.
Scott?
Same thing. Merry Christmas. Everybody be safe.
Jeffrey?
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Marty?
Same thing, and hope everybody has a safe and happy holidays. But where are we at on the clerk's building when he was talking about it?
Well, he still got to get a few things together, once they get those together, he should be able to do a preliminary budget. And the way that I understood the last email, I think we should be looking for all of that sometime right after the first of the year.
Okay.
So they'll have everything kind of finalized as far as drafting, engineering work and otherwise, and be able to get a proposed budget on it where they think we're going to be.
Well, the reason, when Austin was talking about passports, when I asked him about it, he said they really needed a separate area for that, so
Yeah,
we got something in this building that could
Yeah.
make it happen easier too.
yep.
Other than that, I have nothing.
All right, Counselor?
Well, by humbug, pay your taxes by the end of the calendar year, because you'll have a very unmerry new year, because it'll go up. Or unhappy because it will go up. And so if you want to pay by face value, please pay by the end of the year to Sheriff's Office. They'll happily take care of you. If you call possible, and
No, that's for later.
okay, if that's, and also I do wish everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, safe and prosperous New Year.
Sheriff, I see you're up and ready. Yes, sir, thank you.
Nothing big. Just wanted to remind the community, yes, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We will be having traffic checkpoints up throughout the holidays. We're discouraging people drinking too much and driving, so plan ahead, be responsible, enjoy your holidays, but the worst thing that can happen on holidays is to have a loved one killed because somebody had too much to drink and drive. So watch each other, use designated drivers.
Thank you, Sheriff. Austin, do you have anything else? Charles, you got anything with the jail?
Just the inmate population deal, 198 state inmates, 74 county, 72.
198 state and 74 county.
Remind me again, we budgeted like 180?
I think 180 or 186.
Okay, that's good.
It's
That's
tracking
about-
over, so
Huh.
it's tracking over.
Yeah.
Good, that's good.
Thank you, sir. Bill, I know you've got stuff, so let's move on to that.
You all have the packet that I handed out to you this morning, plus it was put on the portal last Friday, so I don't think we need to talk about it a whole lot, but here's a couple of things I want to go over with you. If you look at that first page, you see the top of the page at JMD Construction, and you see the amount there. We had this price, the same exact thing, except we're going to try to fix those windows where from the outside you see shutters instead of a lower ceiling up there and everything, so we're going to try to fix it like the way it's probably going to be from now on. So it's only up about $1,000 from the last time we bid this. That was in 17, so I feel pretty good about that, and that's going to include what it says: the drywall, plaster repair, painting, ceiling prep, which is going to be around the windows, and then the complete lower ceiling. It's going to be a 2x2 lower ceiling. He is going to repair some of the plaster that's trying to fall. I asked him to put something up there to keep that from falling anymore. My main concern that I wanted to talk to you about the HVAC. If you look at our contractors A and contractors B, you see the pricing. And I was kind of blown away by this. And I wasn't for sure how it could possibly be this much, but anyway, for your peace of mind and my peace of mind, I contacted these contractors the second time, and I asked them to reassure me that the totals that I have were the totals that they were going to complete this job, and both of them said yes. So you see the difference down at the bottom. I got savings of the amount there that it's going to save us by using contractor B over A. And I looked at the Dakin units, and I don't see that much difference in them. The warranty may be a little bit different, but I think there was some confusion on the warranty because somebody told me that one of them had 20 years, but I think that's not for commercial. I believe that's for residential. Because when you cut that for residential, for commercial, you cut that in half. So and I'm happy with, in fact, the Dakin units is what we're looking at putting in the new clerk's building, same brand. And I went through all their literature, and and I think a lot of it comes from Mitsubishi anyway. I think they had it sewed up before all these other people got involved. So, but if the court wants to go with the Mitsubishi, it's $2,300 more than what you see that I have listed here. But if everybody's okay with the Dakin, then that's kind of where I'm at. These units, it's not like we're gonna, it's not like that big of a project. We're gonna put one unit in the north office back here, and the contractor B actually was able to, we're gonna have two different units back here in the east. There are two rooms over here. And we're gonna have two 12,000 BTU units instead of two heads and one outside unit. When you got one outside unit and you use a manifold, they both have to be on either heat or cool. You can't change them because they're heat pumps and the gas, it can't be done. And it'll throw it into a fault code. But what he plans on doing is putting two complete units, the outside units and inside units, and those two units can be run independently. So if we want to cut one of them off or cut them both way down, if they're not in use, we can do that. I asked for lockout thermostats on them where we can set them and be in control. The only other thing on this bid was, and it's that I want to make sure that everybody understands and the public understands. I've had people in the past that ask me when we do a project and we don't get bids for electrical stuff. And my thing is, in this building, I get bids for everything except for this building. This building, Mr. Thurman Electric, has always furnished the labor, so that's a big thing. The county buys the parts, and Mr. Thurman's company, they do all the labor. They've not charged me a dime for anything they've done here. And I've already asked him about doing this work, running the electrical to these units, and been agreed that if I buy the materials that he would do the labor. So I appreciate that. That saves us quite a bit of money. The other thing I wanted to bring to your attention would be the carpet. The carpet will be the same as in here. All the painting will be the same as this scheme here for that area. I'm not going to paint this room back here just yet. But if you see there under the carpet bed, if we take that carpet up and we don't have to have underlayment, then that's the total. But I got a feeling, just walking on that, I think we got a carpet, we got a padding, and I think that padding probably hiding a lot of stuff. So I feel like the price that I have listed is the one that we'll be using, because I feel like we're going to have to put an underlayment underneath this flooring like this right here. It's going to require it. So other than that, if you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer them. Otherwise, what you see here for the total down here, it's under the strength item under the first column, and you'll see that price there. And the other price is with the different HVAC. So what I need, and there's a couple things on here that, like I want to get blinds that match the blinds that we have. We'll take them down. They've been there a long time. We'll put the blinds that match the building and so forth. But not knowing how the windows are going to turn out, I'll get all that ordered and specified after we get the lower ceiling in and see what that is. So those have not been included in the price, probably $300 or $400 more. I've already talked to Nicole about the money. She's already working on that and got it, I guess, worked out with whatever she needs to do there. So
yeah, it was all in the budget amendment and the transfers, all that. We done it anticipating that we would have to make this move. So if we are so inclined to move forward with this bid using contractor B, the money's situated and ready to go.
Need a motion?
I need a motion and a second to move forward using contractor B.
So much.
So we got a motion by Myron to go ahead and a second by Marty. Any other question or discussion or anything else you want to add to it, Bill?
Not on this, I have one other item I don't want to talk to. But
Separate from
this
this?
is good. Is everybody
A
good?
different item other than this?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so we have a motion and a second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that motion carries. We get to work.
Well, my plans are to get this unit done first, and then get the inspector's offices moved down there, and then we can start on that one, because we'll be able to empty that room and really, get in there and get that taken care of.
Agreed.
One other thing that I just want to discuss, after the last court meeting, we've had, at that particular time, we had a leak back there, and I called the roofer up, and we found 5 different leaks in this building. And so I just told him, I said, we're going to have to address it. Our walls are starting to get some more bleed through from the moisture coming through the brick, and it's ruining our paint out here in this hallway. It's kind of starting to bubble hit. But anyway, we went through the whole building. We found a leak up in the gutter on the 2nd floor. We found leaks out here. We found a section of roof blowed up by the tower up here, clock tower. And that's just going to happen over time, because you have to remember that whole tower up there is suspended and it moves. And what happened on the outside, the metal that came down, it was flexing, and it actually pulled some of the seam roof loose, about a section that long. So they put all that back, and over here, on this area over here, the gutter system, which was built into the roof, all that was completely torn out, relined, and we put the same roofing that we did on the jail. We put that roofing up here, and we got one other area over here on this southwest corner that we're going to deal with. We actually got a piece of fascia that's completely coming loose, so we're going to, his next thing is going to work on that and see if we can get that, and I feel like we're going to be in pretty good shape for the roof. The only thing that he's recommending, probably within the next few years, that we completely coat that upstairs, the main roof, with the same thing that we did on the jail, which I think will be a big help. So that was on one of the expenditures that you saw, that was around $3,000, a little over $3,000 for the roof repair. But I feel like we've got a pretty good seal on the roof right now. Haven't seen anything since that happened, so I'm optimistic, but maybe we got some of them knocked out. So any questions on any of that? Thank you all.
Thank you, Bill. Bobby, you have anything with the road department? Bob, anything with emergency management? Chief? So to give y'all a heads up, as the chief's coming up, he's going to talk about what we would be able to do hiring folks for these new full-time positions. So.
Okay, so it looks like we're going to, in order to get enough people, and we're going to have to hire outside the department, not just inside the department. So having said that, to just give us the best pool of candidates that we can out there, what I'm asking for is, so we're going to advertise for an entry-level firefighters. What we're really needing is drivers, people that are already certified to that point. But really the only folks out there that we would probably get to fill those positions would be currently at another fire department. I don't have high hopes that we're going to get anybody there, but I would like the option to be able to offer. And what that is it just recognizes a lateral transfer. So essentially what that would mean is if somebody is at a different department and has, say, 6 years of service, that we would recognize that as a county as 6 years of service. So where that would come into effect is the benefit, the retirement insurance, all that stuff doesn't change because it's the same for all our employees. But where it would be like the accrual rate that we have, where we currently at 1 to 5 years is 4 hours, so it would fall into whatever appropriate line. I'm asking for approval from the court just to that we can offer that and make that happen. Along with that would be, same line of conversation, would be any kind of certifications that they already have. For example, the driver operator certifications, that we recognize that and we can go ahead and give the pay increase, above the starting pay, just like they had came up through our system and achieved that certification. They're already coming in with it. So the starting rates would be, I just want the ability to negotiate that and say, this is.
So basically what you're saying is, like, if we hired someone entry level and we're paying them this entry level start, and then they get their whatever certification to drive, whatever they do, we're bumping their pay based on that certification. If they come in with that certification, that we recognize it and give them that starting pay plus whatever that bump would be if we were doing it.
Yeah,
And then on the accrued leave time, and somebody had to help me because this doesn't apply to elected officials, so I don't know how it works. But like, if you're here 1 to 5 years, you get 4 hours of accrued leave every pay period. And then after year 6, you get, after 6 years, you get.
Like between, it's, 5 from 6 to 10 years, it's 6 years, and then.
You mean 6 hours?
10 is 8.
6 hours.
No, it goes 4, 6, and 8.
Yeah.
Per pay period.
You said years.
Oh.
Yeah, 6, okay. So what you're saying, if we get somebody that's 7 years experience on a fire department, when they come in, instead of their accruing 4 hours per pay period of leave, they start immediately accruing the 6 hours.
Can we do that?
I mean, that'd be important. It'll have to be addressed in the admin code too.
Yeah.
Probably.
Well, you don't start in as like a entry, I understand they're not entry level, but do you start them in at top money, or do you have a probationary period that they would start?
No, I would start them, well, the only way, because again, they're currently making a certain amount of money that they're getting paid for those certifications. I'm going to bring them in with that certification in mind, and day one, what we've set as our pay plus that certification, in there.
Yeah, well,
And that's just to attract
what
people.
he's asking for, Scott, and I'm just going to throw out a number. I'm not saying this is the number, I'm just going to throw out a number. But let's say we're going to start someone on the fire department at $18 an hour. And they get whatever this certification is he's talking about, they get another $1. If we hire someone that's already got that certification, instead of them starting at 18, they would start at the 19.
I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm perfectly fine with the other, but the only thing the only reason I asked is if the 4 hours per pay period is 1 through 5. They had been here 7 years, so how can we?
That's what I was asking for, is permission from the court to change, just to recognize it.
And the admin code specifically spells that out.
Can we bypass that 5?
So we would have to make some kind of change in the admin code.
To address this lateral transfer.
And honestly, this would be my opinion, and of course, obviously, Mr. Woods is here, and the jailer's not, and the sheriff's right here, and then we have the clerk. We have every department. So what we would have to think about if we wanted to implement that in the code, and let's just, because we normally pick on Bobby, so I will, but let's say we hire somebody for the road department that already has a CDL, is already an operator, and they've been working at another facility similar to our road department for 8 years, and we hire them in, would they come in with the accrued leave on the level of an 8-year employee versus someone that comes in with no experience?
I think for equal protection, you would have to treat all departments the same.
Right. Yeah.
So if you change your admin code to do what the chief is asking, and I'm not saying what he's asking is unreasonable. What I'm saying is, good is for one, good is for all, bad is for one, bad is for all. So I'm just saying you got to apply it.
So if the sheriff hires when he hasn't passed, they've hired retired state troopers that's had come 20 years, and then they retire. So they would start out with getting that much paid leave on their first year.
If that's what you change the admin code to say, yes.
If we change the administrative code to say that if we hire someone into a department
That gets a little sticky.
that comes in with that many
That could
years.
get a little sticky.
Well, let me ask you,
Well,
Sheriff,
hang on.
So that could get a little sticky right there.
would that help on the hiring? Would that be any kind of help?
It would help. The analogy you used with the retired guy, remember, the retired guy saved me a ton of money.
Right.
He doesn't get any benefits, but yes,
Well, he gets accrued leave.
that would help. When I bring in an 8-year officer from a different place to replace somebody, yes, it would help if it would be considered. You're going to get paid, I'm trying to pay them where they should be.
And as far as accrued leave goes, if I heard you right, the admin code is 4, 6, and 8 hours. So even if someone had come in and you go 1 to 5, 6 to 10, so even if you brought someone in with 11 years, they would start off, if you said, okay, you've got 11 years on this law enforcement experience, we're hiring you, then on day 1, they're accruing 8 hours of leave rather than 4 hours of leave. I mean,
not
we're
that
also
much.
getting an 11-year experience
Per pay period.
officer too,
That's
so.
the trade-off you get.
Yeah.
Yes. The
So-
benefit of the burden.
Let me say this, I mean, my main motivation, I understand it's a lot, and if you guys need, time to think about that, or, how it's, the other implications that we have, that's fine. I can still go ahead and advertise for the entry-level stuff, because that's
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
a separate little conversation. However, if we think we are going to go for the lateral transfer, then I need that addressed, like, basically at the next meeting, so that I can go ahead and get that ball rolling. My motivation for that, again, I don't have high hopes with it, but my motivation was, again, is trying to get the most amount of people, we want to open up our pool, but
Basically,
we're not going to, well, let me say that, we're not going to get there to pay,
Yeah.
okay? That's the difference. So I'm trying to think of other alternatives, with our pay scale, for that. I mean, I'm wanting to look at hiring the drivers, and I mean, we're in that 51,000. Entry-level firefighters Bowling Green is like at 61. My entry level's at 45. So, I mean, there's a big pay discrepancy there. Now, I understand we're not Bowling Green. I get that. We're trying to be competitive with the people that are kind of in our same situation that we're likely to be a stepping stone. And it is what it is. But in order to try to attract, if we can't get the pay there, what are some of the other things? And that's our benefit package. We do hazard duty retirement, which is worth, some folks don't. They just do regular retirement, but if we can get the accrual time, some of those things just to make it a little bit more attractive.
So basically,
what
the
I'm
question would be would we be willing to change the admin code to recognize same or similar experience as they hire in here for Simpson County?
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily opposed to that. I don't think it's a bad idea, honestly. And I mean, across the board in every department. I mean, I think it would be the same fire department, jail, sheriff's office. If you can hire someone with 6, 8, 9 years experience, it's better than having to train them from nothing off the street. And if accruing a few extra hours of leave time to hire in at that, I don't know.
So the
But
other
go ahead and
advantage-
advertise, but.
Yeah, the other
I think we
advantage
need
to
have
that
the
is,
discussion.
you're bringing in people that are already trained, and we don't necessarily have to send them to a fire academy, because that's a 13-week process. And I know the chair had a conversation this morning, kind of the same deal, and theirs is much further out, plus field training and all those things. So
And what's the cost for the firefighter training?
So today, currently, the academy is still doing them for free.
Oh, wow.
Because they're I think this will be their 4th class. Now, is that going to change at some point? I don't know. They're operating off of grants right now.
And Sheriff, what's the cost to send law enforcement to the academy?
You're going to spend at least $60,000 a year for that. The academy's free, but we're paying them to be at the academy.
That's, obviously.
It's a year-long process, and by the time at the end of that year, you would put more than $60,000 in that person.
So basically, you've paid an officer for a year that really can't do the work of a law enforcement officer.
We're doing that now. We lost 2 officers, and I've hired replacements. It took 3 months to get them through the process to hire them. But one started and they take calls on their own. All they can do is things that civilians can do, and they can be with an officer as an extra body and learn. They'll go to the academy from May, they'll graduate at the end of November, and they've got field training, so February of 2025 is when these guys will actually be able to answer a call themselves as a police officer.
And so, if we hire out, do entry level, the fire academy starts in February and it's 13 weeks, on there. So, it would be May-ish, somewhere in there, before we were able to fully, be up and going on our end as well. So, there is some value. There's just something to think about. There is some value to being able to track people, and if you can do it through the accrued, leave or whatever, on lateral
I'd like to
transfers.
think about that, but how do we stack up with other counties as far as accrued time? This is not is this a state guideline, or, is that just something each county comes up with, or?
I don't know. It was like that when I came. We haven't changed it yet.
I just wondered,
I would say it's been like that for 20 years plus.
I know it's been similar beyond 20 years. I know at some point in between there, we changed it to be the 4, 6, and 8. So, it's been like that for a while.
Judge, just an additional comment to go with Leslie's. I did that lengthy explanation of how long it takes to hire somebody and get them through the academy. Kind of what Leslie's talking about, same situation. Now, they're hard to find, but I know you as a police officer, and you've got 8 years experience at Logan County or Allen County, and you're looking to make a change. I can bring you to the sheriff's office. I'm going to have to pay you more. And if I can give you better benefits, you may want to come to the sheriff's office. And within 3 weeks, I can have you in a car answering calls. So that's the difference in having to hire somebody to go to the academy and hiring somebody that's already a POP certified officer. His certifications are a little different, but it's kind of the same. I think that's why he's bringing that up.
Yeah, I get it.
What might make you want to go, and what does it actually cost the county to have to go recruit and send somebody? And sometimes that's our only option, is to recruit and send somebody to the academy.
Well, why don't I'll do this. I can make a proposed draft change to that section of the admin code, and we can get it out on the portal, and everybody can look at it, and we can have a discussion on it at the 3rd. Here's the thing. With the job market the way it is, I think we're going to have to use any and every tool we can to get people that are qualified and competent to do the job. I don't know that a couple of hours of accrued leave is going to be...
No, I'd just like to think about it.
Yeah.
And because I know there's going to be, I don't want to have to go back in 6 months and say, well, we messed up.
Yeah.
There's people doing this and doing that and taking advantage of it somehow or another, I want to use it.
And I would say I could do, to Myron's, the point to Myron's question, I would say I could get some information maybe on what other counties are doing, and I probably can. With the holidays, I don't know if I can get that and have it together for the January 3rd meeting.
Probably can't get it. I'm just kind of curious on.
But I can send out a question to see what other counties are doing for accrued leave for employees, and it'll go to every county out, and we can pull some of that back. We'll get the information we can by the 3rd. I don't know that we can, but we'll do, if we can do something, we will, Chief, but in the meantime, get advertising. All right.
And I did talk to Chief right before this meeting. He was asking about the fire department being on that joint city-county meeting.
Yes.
Because it's time to...
Yeah.
How y'all coming along on the building remodel?
It's finished.
Finished?
Finished Friday.
All right. I don't seeing or hearing no one else. All I need is a motion to adjourn.
So maybe.
Motion by Marty.
Second.
Second by Jeffrey. All in favor, aye. Aye. Any opposed?